Morning. Morning. Again, my voice is struggling. You know what I mean? It's from Screaming Fest this weekend. Morning, Chris. Good morning, Trevor. Good morning, Jerry. Danielle, good morning. Kayla, good morning. Jackie, good morning. And Anna, good morning. So, yeah, this morning's quote is a repeat from before. Connor knew that was coming up. But sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. That we had to repeat that for a reason. There was something important. Do you guys like my little colored? This is my wife's favorite color, this cup here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Huh?
Definitely drank hot chocolate out of those mugs.
You did?
Yeah.
Hot chocolate out of the mugs? Okay. Good morning, Amy. So, yeah, I want to remind everybody, again, this show is to reach those that are still out there suffering substance abuse, just making horrible choices, those that are early in recovery. So we try to share this out to a lot of groups. This morning, Facebook was giving us a problem. Imagine that. And so we didn't share it out to the groups. But we're going to talk a little bit about addiction-related stuff. Man, is anybody else's allergies going like crazy right now? Are you?
Past 2 days.
Oh, dude. It's crazy. We should get some local honey, Jesse. You know what I mean? Local honey, baby. Honey boo boo. So, yeah. This morning's topic is take risks, okay? And I know for me, I don't know about y'all, but in my addiction, when I was running, doing what I was doing, I took a risk every day. And it seemed like my risk boundary grew every single week at times. Like the things I said that I would never do, I started doing. The drugs that I said I'd never do, I ended up doing. There was always this risk. And, for me, it was just about whatever I had to do to get a certain high, whatever I needed to do for myself, whatever I needed for that numb feeling. I took risks. I took risks with the law. I didn't care what laws I broke. That was evident. I took risks in a vehicle every single day that I could have killed someone else or killed myself, I took risks in the amount of drugs that I consumed, knowing that there could be a possibility of overdose. And, I mean, if you told me about, if I took this quantity of drugs and I combine it with this, I took a risk on anything. Whatever you told me to do for me to be able to escape life, I did. So I always like to do this comparison because I think a lot of people that are early in recovery, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Deb. Early in recovery, they kind of feel like they're not capable. If you're anything like me, when you came in early, you were just so beat up from your choices, knowing, that inner conflict of knowing that the monster, the scumbag that you were, right? Like we know the truth. So when we come in and we stop doing all that stuff, it's tough to be confident. It's tough to have a feeling of like I can go do this. So it's going to be risky to want to go fail because we knew we were failing for so long. I failed for 15, 16, 17 years straight, right? I was a straight failure because I quit on everybody. I gave up on myself, gave up on my kids, gave up on my family, on my businesses. I gave up on everything. So you come in here and you're trying to change your life, and that takes risk. But if you look at how you ran your life, you definitely were a risk taker. I don't know about y'all. Did y'all take risks out there like every single day? Yeah, you recognize it. But the big risk in this part of life, when you get done being a little kid, you stop making all these horrible choices, is the risk of success. Success is really risky to people, because the number one thing that I hear is I don't want to fail. I'm scared that I'm going to fail. I'm scared to take the chance. I'm scared to get out of that comfort zone. Like that's with a lot of people that come into the program. Super, super scared to take a risk and go for it. And we get really, really afraid of what could go wrong instead about being excited about what could go right, what will go right. And that's a big one. So, like, you got to stop being afraid of what can go wrong and start getting excited about what will go right. Like, that's what I tell myself. You know, everybody's got fears, but we're going to have to take risks. You know, just like falling in love and trusting in a relationship, right? Like, it's risky, right? You open yourself up to be vulnerable, and you could really get hurt. That's why a lot of people don't do it. I'll tell you straight out, that's for me for a long time why I refused to be in a relationship. At the core of it, you know, everybody else might have said, well, he's a whore. Well, at the core of it, I mean, they were right, but at the core of it, at the same time, the reason that I did what I did is because I was scared to death. I was scared to let somebody in to hurt me. You know, same went with friendships. I mean, it can go down a notch. You know, just as far you know, my friends, I didn't want to tell them everything. I didn't want to tell anybody everything. I was scared to death that somebody was going to hurt me. So you got to take risks in this new life. If you're out there still struggling, and you're out there, you know, this is early recovery for you, and you're holding on tight, and it's your first year or 2 years, and you're back and forth with wondering what life you want, like, you're going to have to go for it. You're going to have to take a risk. Like, you will never, ever reach your full potential if you don't take a risk. You know, you'll never reach your full potential living in comfort, living in your spot of like, okay, I feel okay here. I don't want to get outside of here. Like, for me, I'm still searching for other things, you know, because everybody in here has all these gifts. Everybody in here has numerous gifts on how they can serve another. And a gifting to me is what I can give to somebody else, right? Right. That's really what it is when we find our purpose and we find our gift, is how we're going to use it to help society, to help our community, and help our loved ones. So how are you going to know what gifts you have if you're just living in this comfort bubble? That's it. Like, but how you would never know what your gifts are. Say you're gifted as a baseball player. If you don't swing a bat, you have no idea, do you? You can't stand on the side of the field looking at everybody else playing. If you're gifted on a motorcycle, right? You have no idea. But what are you going to do with that gift? Who's it going to serve? Is it going to serve you, or is it going to serve others and God? That's it for me. So that takes risks. That takes the same level. And don't tell me that you're not capable, right? If you were out there doing what I was doing and what a lot of the guys in here were doing, if you were out there running and gunning and being who you were, just a wretched person, you were taking some serious risks. The truth is, if you were using the drugs I was using, every time you got high, it was a risk. Because if you got caught with that, what happens? You get arrested. Like, you're going to jail. You know, there's certain substances you get caught with, you're going to jail pretty much, you know? So the other side of this is knowing in the middle that you're capable. And all of you listening to this, you are 100% capable. But what's it going to be about? Is it going to be about finding that purpose? Is it going to be finding that potential, getting outside that comfort zone? Or is it going to be about just sitting in that, like, being scared to death of what's going to happen next? And I lived in fear my whole life. I did. I lived in fear my whole life, and it drove everything I did in every relationship I had. I was scared to death because I didn't know what was next. I didn't know who was going to leave next, and I didn't know who was going to hurt me next. Betrayal ran my life, 100%. So what that did in my end is I'm going to get you before you get me. Always. Like, I had it logged in my brain. I was like, when we get this close, you're gone. Like, when it gets really close and I start to feel something, you got to go, because now you got me. Now you could get me. And I was really scared of that. Tons of fear. So it was a risk for me to allow people in. It was very risky for me to truly trust someone, love someone. But y'all can do it. It's really important that we talk. Like, what do you guys think? Anybody have anything on this over there? Joe, grab the mic. You got to talk into the mic, buddy.
So I'm on, like, the other end of that, where Beth, she has trust issues, and I severely hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
through everything I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, as far as me trusting others, that's not the problem. It's her trusting me, and me telling her, "Hey, I'm doing this for us," or "Hey, this is what's going on." She still has that wall up, and and that wall is to protect herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm on the side of I need to be understanding that she needs to take time to regain my trust and trust of others.
But who do you need to trust, Joe? So you're not going to control her.
No, I'm not.
Who
Nope.
do you need to trust?
I need to trust God
And
my community
you.
and myself.
So can you trust yourself lying and bullshitting?
No.
Okay. Can you trust yourself not living with integrity, not being accountable? Can you trust yourself when you're not doing the right thing?
Not at all, no.
That drives it. So we can focus on everybody else, and this isn't like you're not like trying to focus on anybody else. This is just what we do.
Uh-huh.
But recognize the only way that anybody is going to trust you is if you trust you. And the only way you're going to truly give trust, right,
Uh-huh.
is to get it. Like it's this reciprocal thing. So you got to start with you. Like trust has to start in here, and you're going to have to take some risks and stop living in fear, because we all run because of fear. You do get that. We all get high and get drunk because we're scared of something.
Dude, yeah, like 100%. That's true.
Simply, it's all fear driven. It's because it can be as little as not getting what we want. We're scared of not getting what we want. We're scared of feeling disappointment. We're scared of feeling let down. We're scared of feeling regret. But it's usually always fear driven. It's because we don't want to feel something, right? So you're going to have to take a risk and fight the things that are keeping you from that joy and from that trust. But the only way that anybody in a relationship is going to trust you is if you trust you. Because there's something blocking you from trusting yourself or trusting anybody else out there. It's all within. There's a fear of how you look, fear of how of self, like what people think of you. That's a big one. This huge fear of that, what people are thinking of you and what they're talking about, and that creates a trust issue, right? And so, like, there's all these things that we could talk about forever. But if you want to truly find joy, you're going to have to take a risk.
Yeah.
What are you scared of? Anybody else want to share some?
Well, like I was
Go
gonna say, your self-worth, your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-esteem all goes down the more that you do not live in the truth. Like the more that you lie, cheat, steal, all that stuff, your self-worth just drops way down.
Yep.
And then therefore, when that goes down, how are you going to love yourself and trust yourself? And then therefore transfer that. How are you going to trust others?
Doesn't work.
It don't work.
Doesn't work. Nope. So you got to take risks. Then when you start taking risks on yourself, like to be truly successful in a career, in businessmen, they take risks. Entrepreneurs, big risk takers, really big. I mean, you look at like Elon Musk, dude, like crazy risk taker, right?
SpaceX.
Yeah, he's a nutty risk taker. He'll risk everything, but that's what it takes. Simply down to racing. There's got to be big risks to win, right? Like you're pushing the edge always when you want to win. You gotta take a risk and get rid of the fear. Like if we just transfer that's part of what we did with racing. We transfer that lifestyle of work hard, go out there when the gate drops and give it your all. You transfer that to life, you win. You do. Like everything you do on the racetrack, if you did that in life, we'd be gnarly. Nobody would ever stop us, because when the gate drops, it's not, well, let me hit the snooze button. Well, maybe Jesse before, when he first got here, he was hitting the snooze button when the gate would drop. Wouldn't he, Clint? He'd wait for everybody to go. He was nice. As Gavin Chin's dad said, he was a nice little racer. He let everybody go. But when the gate drops, it's time to go. It's hit the stop, hammer down, right? That's it. You got to take a risk to win in life. And everybody here that's listening to this show, everybody that's suffered some addiction, some substance abuse, in and out of jail, running from life, like you are capable. And I wish you would just believe in yourself this much and believe that there's this way better life if you take a chance, if you knock down these fear walls and you get rid of that crap and just move forward. Find a group of people that you arm in arm, like together, can just keep moving forward, and you don't let anybody fall back. You don't let anybody stumble. No matter what, you keep moving forward. That's recovery to me. Recovery, as I tell these guys all the time, is just this picture in my head of people, 3 or more people just walking arm in arm, and together they have this mission to go forward and to take risks and to beat their fears and to beat those things that hold them back and not allow each other to step in this comfort zone, not allow each other to BS and lie about anything. Extreme accountability, like hold each other accountable. That's what recovery is. Recovery is not sitting in a room or sitting at a diner or sitting at a restaurant talking about your past. It's over. Like, that model has to go to bed. That model has to be done. Like, find a bunch of people that want to win. Like these guys. Find a bunch of people that like just kick it in the ass and go and take this risk and see what happens. Like, you're going to keep snowballing this whole thing. Like, it's just going to keep happening and move forward. And you'll never have to look back at that fear again. Life's a big risk, but man, we only have so much time. Like, the clock's ticking and years go by like minutes after a while, and you're like, holy crap. I look at Talon now, man. Like, he's 5 years old. Like, what? My son is shooting an animal, a turkey, by himself. Like, the things he said, like, he's going to be 6 years old, and where is this stuff going? Like, what's happening? Slow down. It's not slowing down. So you're going to have to take a risk in every single way, in relationships and love, in career, right? In spirituality, you're going to have to take a risk and trust God. You're going to have to trust something beside you. You're going to have to let the control go. Let it go in order to feel joy. Like, that's it for me. I have to let it all go and take a risk in finding what my true purpose is here. I still think I have more. I still think I have more things to find, and I've been on this journey of trying to find this stuff for for years. I really believe that all of you in here and everybody watching this, listening to this, you have some gift, but you're going to have to take a risk and get out there and attempt things and go for it and fail forward and lose and just face all of it. So that's it for us this morning. I hope you all didn't hit your snooze or loser button. I hope you wrote your gratitude and goals in the book and you consistently put in your schedule of what you have for the week, and you look ahead. And all you that have just suffered from addiction and being night owls, start going to bed 9:30, 10 o'clock. Get up with us. Do something different. Completely change your life from start to finish. Because if you get up early and you start this day right, the rest of the day is going to follow. It's going to be way different than sitting there waiting in the house for that darkness to come so that you can get out and do what we do. Switch it up. Do something different. Everybody on here, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. And remember, whatever you do today, do it with soul. We love y'all. Peace.